You drew some headlines, and you're talking about headlines recently with an interview you gave about the Kingpin show and how you hated what was going on there, some of the influencer stuff. Do you ever feel any sense of responsibility in bringing the influencer side of boxing in the first place?
Really, because it was there before I brought it in. Don't forget I did the rematch of KSI against Logan Paul. Yeah, I did, and I think that I was interested in it. I could have made millions out of influencer boxing, but it's just not for me. And as much as people don't like me and think I'm money mad, which I get, but if I really was only about the money, I would be doing it. Do you know what I mean? But after that experience, I just didn't enjoy it, right? So again, people respond to and react to, like the Kingpin guys, like Misfits, Mam's Tail. They see a headline, which I said we need to kick this as far away as possible from professional boxing. Not we need to get rid of it and it needs to be banned. Just that let's just completely disassociate ourselves with that and say it's fine, it can exist, but it's not boxing and it's not what we're about. So the incident that happened, like again, it gets blown up out of proportion about what you said. I didn't like it because I know how hard female boxers have worked to become respected and established. I have 2 daughters, one of them goes to the boxing gym. I don't want her to see that. I want her to see Katie Taylor and listen to Katie Taylor. But I'm also a boxing, it's my life. So, and we're in a mad world. And you're not going to stop that kind of thing, But for me, I just want to disassociate. I know the numbers. It's on our platform. It does really well. And it's not going to go away. And I don't have a. I think Misfits. I think they're really smart guys. Obviously, I love Calla. I've never met Mams. I think he's really smart. I think what they're doing with a tag team and all that kind of stuff. I like the freak show of that side because we can say, fucking hell, now they're doing a tag team. What's going on there? But it's entertainment. It's not boxing. So I do what we do, and we do it because we love it, and we don't do that because I just don't have the same passion for it.
In that case, then, how do you feel about sharing a broadcasting platform, one that's predominantly known for boxing, with Misfits?
Absolutely fine. I don't really think about it like that. A broadcaster is going to put on whatever a broadcaster wants to put on. If I was back on Sky and they put on something I didn't like or I thought should.
No, but I mean more in terms of kicking it far away from traditional boxing. Being on the same platform doesn't help that.
No, but I think it does if you can establish the right marketing, the right channels, and we don't try and spin the narrative that it's actual boxing and these guys are really good and actually it's just entertainment. It's like watching some random, what's it used to be called, Takeshi Castle. Remember that thing? Where it's just like, what is this? It's absolutely mental. But it's fine. It's good. I've seen some of the Misfit shows. I think they're quite entertaining. Some of them. Some of the fights are terrible. But I'll tell you one thing, we've got to be careful. Is the press conferences and what we're seeing now. It's kicking off at every press conference. You imagine if it kicked off like that in real boxing, people would be hospitalised. Do you know what I'm saying? Not like a couple of people and we need to stop that because it's almost like you've got to understand the kids are watching these guys and when they see them head to head or they're rolling around and having a fight and sometimes it spills out to the street. You don't want the kids to see that. Let's also respect the code of. I know it's not boxing, but at least if we're going to participate in it, some way we have to act responsibly and try and instill the same values because these guys are important role models. Whether we think they're a role model, they are to the kids. Do you know what I mean? So they've actually got a responsibility to act in the right way. But this is another Piers Morgan conversation where I'll end up debating it and pissing someone off. But that's just my thoughts.
You're right about it already. Just to ask as well, while we're on DAZN, Laura Woods seems to be departing, going to TNT Sport. Big deal for her. She's going to be fronting football coverage, among other things. How much of an input, if any, do you have in those sort of decisions?
All of them, because, that's not a decision that we had. Ultimately, she had a huge offer to present Champions League football on TNT, which was the dream job of her life, and part of it was exclusivity, which, means that, unfortunately, she can't do the boxing anymore. We run the entire production for DAZN on Matchroom shows and also on some other shows. We just did the production at the Josh Kelly fight. Matchroom Media did that. So we use a lot of our talent, like you would have seen Mike Costello on that and stuff like that. So for me, Laura has been unbelievable. She's done 3 years with us. She's an amazing person, an amazing broadcaster. We're gutted to leave her, but also we understand she's taken her dream job on a Champions League, and with that came exclusivity to the channel. So now we look at our talent as we do when every year is up, which for us is when we started, which is around July and August, and we reposition our talent. We bring new people in. That lead presenter role is something that's a very particular skill, and it's a very tough recruitment process, especially to find someone to replace Laura. But we feel like we've got some announcements coming of the right people for that role, and I think we've got the best commentary team, the best analysts already, and it's very important to us to maintain that talent.
And just finally, because I know there's a lot of people waiting to speak with you, just a quick breakdown and prediction for this weekend's big fight, Terence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr.
Great fight. I am going for a Terence Crawford stoppage. I mean, I think they're both unbelievable. I just look at it with two things. Number one is, I think Errol's had more wear and tear over the years. One from the car, and tear, and 3, tough fights. And I think he's unbelievably mentally in fights. I think he's a little bit of a sicko in the head going into fights. And I'm not sure if he stops it, but I think he wins, and I think he could stop it. It all depends. Sometimes you make these big fights and they're cagey for 6-7 rounds, and it might be like that. But if it catches fire early, then I think he'll stop it. And, I'm not a betting man, but I'd like to see Terence stop it and the Jake stoppage. Maybe as the little
Cheers, Eddie. Always a pleasure.
Thanks.